Happy Wednesday. It's birthday. It's birthday again. I'm headed to my first order. I am running behind because I had to take the minors somewhere. So I'm just starting around 3:40. So I am going to a restaurant I've heard of, but I've never been to. So we'll see what it's about. It's just a small order. And sometimes even orders that I typically wouldn't take, I take them if it's a new restaurant so I can, get acquainted with the procedure. Yesterday, I feel like I was supposed to tell y'all something about what I did yesterday, but I can't remember. Can't remember. But yeah, so we'll see. The person doesn't live that far. Based on the address, I don't think she lived that far. I think that's all the same with the numbers, but we will see. So I'll be back. Okay, y'all, so I'm back and I picked up the order. It was just really small. She just had sides, 3 sides. And so I think she's about like 8 minutes away from this restaurant. And what I remember what I needed to tell you. As soon as I start recording, I remember. So I didn't know Uber Eats was running a promotion. And so if you completed 3 orders, you got $3. I think 5, 8, 8, something like that. But I didn't know they was running any type of promotion. All I know is I got a notification that I actually received the $3 for that, and then the $3 for things like Uber driver payment or something. So yeah, so never know. Like I said, I don't keep up with the promotions because they like here and there with Uber, but I do try my best to, if I'm in the thick of it, to go ahead and try to complete it if it's possible. So that's what I was doing at this current time. So let me go ahead and drop this off to this customer. Busy over here. And we'll go from there. Hey y'all, happy Thursday. So I am out here already trying to get some money. This one is gone, girl. You old enough for the light green. I decided to pick up an Instacart. Really wasn't really any good Instacart orders, but this one was, I think, about 18 bucks, and I think it's like 14 unique items. Is that how you say it? Is it 14 unique items, or is it? Yeah, I think it's 14 unique items and multiples of those items. So I went ahead and picked it up, but I didn't pay attention to it, and it had beer. So now I got to interact with customers today. Whew. Y'all know how I feel. And other news, and kind of sad, real sad, and it has you think about life in general and how we view life and things that we actually complain about. But as I was driving up the road to get to this grocery store, I have to take a major highway. And when I say highway, I'm not talking about the freeway. You have to clarify, because where I grew up, we'll call everything a highway. But this is an actual street that has a highway name in it, which means that it does not have any sidewalks. Well, as I seen like cars stopping and going, I'm like, what are they stopping and going? Because the only reason why we stop and go is the school that lets out, and we have to let the people through. But no, it was a gentleman on the side of the road, and he was in a wheelchair, and he was just wheeling along. And it's like, there's no sidewalks, so he's wheeling along in the grass, and I know that could be like straight horrible. And I'm thinking to myself, where could he have come from? Because the bus stop was like a little ways down, and I would think that even though there's no other city bus stop, that the city bus driver would have, said, you know what, on this particular occasion, I'll go ahead and stop you here at your street. But you never know. I don't know the situation, but it just puts a lot of things in my life in perspective in regards to what I complain about. And even sometimes things that I get angry about, because I do get easily upset by some things, and then I can calm down. But it just made me think twice about a couple things. And we slowing down again. Somebody on this moped that go 25 miles an hour on a 45 mile. I thought it was illegal for them to be on these type of roads, but where's the, oh, there goes the sheriff, so he might say something to him. He may not. But yeah, so yeah, that's all I want to say. So let me go ahead, and I'm not too far from the location, get myself prepared mentally so I can get in there physically and get this done and over with, because I don't want to be out here alone. I gotta go get me an iced coffee. I have to. I have to go get me iced coffee, because y'all will not believe what's been going on. And I wish I would have been able to take it, but it was just so many moving parts that I just didn't have time to do it. I had to focus on what was going on. So let me fill you guys in. So remember, I was on a double order. I mentioned that it was a small order. I did also mention to you that there was alcohol involved. So customer A had the alcohol, customer B did not. And this Papa called me. Let me see what he wants. But I did, in the meantime, get a Grubhub, so I can't stop and get my Dunkin' because it's in the opposite direction. So I want to finish my story, and then we'll go from there. So, customer B had some refunds. She really didn't want to do any replacements, which is fine. Customer A, everything was available. So customer A sent me this lengthy message letting me know that something's wrong with the GPS, like getting individuals to her home. She lived in an apartment. It's not picking up these apartment buildings. I said, okay, fine. So she gave me a real clear directions on how to get to her apartment. Usually when it's like really clear directions, I let the GPS get me to where I need to go, and then I open up the directions. So in this case, I'm not hearing these messages from the customer but I see them when I turn into her apartment complex, and I open up to see the message. See the message to see how to get to her apartment, and there was a message saying, I'm not home, but my husband is, but it was my birthday that was on file. So I was going to explain to her that doesn't matter, as long as someone over the age of 21 that's valid with a valid ID, I can leave the items to her. While I was about to do that, another message popped up. OMG. I'm like, I said, what's going on? She said, my husband been called back into work. I said, okay, that's fine. I just turned in. I'm headed to your apartment. She was like, he gone. I was like, what? So I was like, okay. She said, do you think that I can send you a picture of me and my ID and you can leave it? I said, unfortunately, I can't. She said, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. She said, I am about to cry. I said, no, don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. Like, don't worry about it. I promise you, we'll figure this out. So I end up calling, or not calling. This is why it's important that they need the ability for us to call, because it's texting back and forth. It takes too long. So I'm texting customer support. Said I was 3 in line, so I was like, park. In the meantime, I did message customer B, let the customer B know, hey, situation. But I'm in contact with Instacart, and they're going to, they're assisting. So I go back to Instacart. I'm like, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to go to customer B? Because I've done it before where there's an issue with customer A, and you can see if you go to like the info part of the it should be like the eye with the little circle in a batch. You can see everything about the customers, including the instructions. on where to leave stuff. So I've done it before where customer A is having all these problems, so I navigate myself to customer B and then request from customer support to actually close out of my ticket, like sending all the proof, like pictures and stuff that I've delivered it, and have them close out the batch for me. So I'm like, I'm finna go to customer B while we figure this out. In the meantime, in between time, but in that meantime, in between time, he also gave me instructions that to just return the items back to the store. Okay. It's going so fast, y'all. I didn't have time to sit and walk y'all through anything. So the store wasn't that far from the customer A, so I ran back and to return the items. And I was like, do you need this? Yeah, I need that receipt. And then I got back on the horn because I'm like, customer A order is still on my screen. Move it so I can go to customer B. And finally he was able to move it. And I was headed to customer B. I apologized for being late. He said it's fine. He gave me an extra 30 minutes of sleep. So I'm like, but yeah, y'all, crazy. And she's like, I'm so devastated. She said, if you ask me to tip you, I'm gonna tip you. She said, but I don't get home 7. She said, if you see the order again, please pick it up. Hey y'all, happy Saturday. I am out here. I'm actually headed to drop off the Shipt order that I picked up. It was not a promo, and the range was from $12 to $16. I did have to refund 2 items or choose not to substitute these items. That the customer decided they didn't want any substitutes, which is totally fine. So what we end up doing is, so I know that the pay is going to be on the lesser side of the range because of that. As always, we never know if the customer's going to tip. I wasn't showing Shipt any love, so I decided just to pick it up. Plus, I was like dragging my feet. I've been up since 7 a.m., but I literally was not getting out of bed. Hey y'all, so I am back. I ran one of my errands, and I turned on Grubhub and I turned on Uber Eats. Uber Eats sent me a order and pay. And if you're not familiar, you have to order upon arrival. Now, sometimes I can order prior to. I'm gonna turn that off, that blinking, because that's irritating me. This light's gonna be long. So sometimes I can call, but I wasn't in, like, literally it was like the flow of the traffic and the lights and stuff. It had me keep going. So I wasn't at a point where I could stop and Google, because inside of the app, like, it has a picture of a phone where you can click on, but it does nothing. Like in Grubhub, I can click on a picture of the phone next to the restaurant and I can call and place the order. But Uber Eats, nada. So oftentimes when I get an order and pay, I go to Google the restaurant, and call and place the order. So by the time I get there, I don't have to wait as long. This case, I didn't do that. I waited till I arrived and placed the order at it was a diner. So additionally, the customer didn't know that it was an order and pay. He said that and he actually delivers for Uber Eats and Instacart, he says, and he said he's never seen that before. So I was explaining to him, you probably won't see it on your end as a customer, because he responded, he's like, I didn't know it was that. And then he said, I haven't never seen that before when I deliver. And I said, yeah. And they pick and choose who they send these order and pays to. I'm assuming you have to at least have a card, and we all get a card. So I'm not 100% sure why he hasn't. I just finished doing that Uber Eats, and he did tip me $5. So I turned back on Grubhub. After turning back on Grubhub and Uber Eats, I didn't receive anything. I was gonna go sit at this Sorry. The GPS, y'all. What they be talking about? But I was gonna go sit at my normal sitting spot to wait on orders coming in, while in the same token I looked on what's the place, Shipt, and it had an order that was in the same place where I was gonna go sit at, but it was on promo, but it was on like $10 to $12, and it was a delivery only. And the reason why, like I said, that you got to be careful with delivery only at Harris Teeter, because you don't know what the one order is. They don't break it down so you can see how many bags about to be coming in your car. I just So I looked on Instacart, and it was several ones on Instacart, and there was one that was like at Sam's Club. It was going for $17.51, but you were going about 12 miles. So I was like, I don't know about that. So then there was another one that popped up. It was for $22, but it was 2 orders, and it was the items like $45, and somebody got that real quick. And I was just saying to myself, I said, do y'all actually be looking, or y'all see the dollar amount and just grab it, like in my area? Like, y'all really need to be paying attention, because they're actually batching these 2 customers together, because one customer probably is not tipping. And $22 for 45 plus items, that's just not in my alley at all. So as I was turning into the little parking lot to, do my sitting and looking, another order popped up for Sam's Club. And when it popped up for Sam's Club, it was like 9 items total, and it was going like 5 miles, and it was about $20 or so. So that's the one I chose, and that's why I'm headed to Sam's Club at this time. And I really believe I have delivered for this lady. Hey y'all, it has been a small adventure. I did pick up an Instacart. I believe I mentioned it, but I can't remember. But it was for Sam's Club. Sam's Club was a madhouse. Usually I can get through there and have no problem, but it was a lot of people and not a lot of workers, which makes it easier for me when I'm in Sam's Club, because I can ask them where stuff is at versus trying to search it out. And when I get to the car to load, I dropped the rotisserie chicken. So I had to run back in and wait in line to say, hey, I need to get a new chicken. This one dropped. Do not put this back on the shelf. And that was that. Additionally, after I dropped it off, the customer's really nice. We'll see what because I was running so behind. So we'll see exactly what if she rates me or not. She said everything was fine. She was communicating with me well. And I was communicating with her every step of the way to let her know what was going on. They didn't have a few of her items, but they did have some Clorox, and they had Lysol. She said she didn't need the Lysol, but she wanted the Clorox wipes, so I was able to add that. A few of her items they didn't have, and her substitutes were 2 separate items, and so I ended up having to refund that item and add those additional 2 items, and one I had to manually add. So it was just like a lot of stuff, and it was long and lengthy and everything of that sort that drug it out. But I guess it was all in favor, because I needed me some Girl Scout cookies, and it was a young lady with her family with her tent set up over in that area, and I was able to get me some Girl Scout cookies and then find another Girl Scout Connect, because my son decided he wanted to eat. Every time I open up a pack of Girl Scout cookies, he wanted some. I am not going to no IHOP for no $5.34. Get off my screen. Whew. Happy Sunday morning. It is raining, and I actually signed up for a Grubhub Shipt this morning from 8 to 10. My first order was to Famous Toastery. It was one that was near, I call it the Big Mall by where we live, but I think they had closed down because I could never figure out when they were open, and come to find out they only open until like 2 or something. So that's why I would never see it open. I thought it was closed. So I'm not sure. I think it's still there, but I can't remember. So all their staff was running late today. So the lady that's at the front, she wasn't there. So when I got in there, nobody was at the front desk. And so finally somebody seen me standing there when I was peeking through the door and came. And the lady that came, she didn't know anything about how to open it up for Grubhub. So the gentleman came and the tablet wasn't even on. It wasn't even on. So he turned it on, and then he didn't know how to get the order from the front to the back. Like, take it from the tablet and input it in the POS, so the back knows what needs to happen. So then I had to go get a manager to figure it out. So she came and she showed them, and I just been waiting. So I did alert the customer and didn't respond, but it looks like I'll be delivering to a gas station. So that's probably why he didn't respond, because he at work. So this was a long one, so I had to break it up. So this is part 1. So please stay tuned for part 2, where I will share more of my adventures as well as the weekly earnings for the week. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. To all my returning subscribers, thank you. And please, everyone, hit that thumbs up and share this with your family, your friends, and your coworkers. Peace out.